Hello, and welcome to the YouTube channel for Vantage Point Networks. I'm your host, Scott Pickles, and today we're going to be talking about setting up Wi-Fi access for WPA1 and WPA2 Personal on the Motorola ES400 and MC65 using the Fusion Supplicant. As always, official supporting documentation for your Motorola ES400 or MC65 is available at support.symbol.com. Okay, to get started, I'm going to show you how to access the Fusion Supplicant or wireless client configuration software on an ES400 or an MC65 from two different locations. First of all, most conveniently is directly from the taskbar at the top of your device. So if you just click on the top taskbar and drop it down, you can access the wireless manager and all the other components of the wireless Fusion from this icon right here. You might have to scroll to the left or right using the arrows at the end of the taskbar, but again, here's the icon right here for the Fusion client. And the other way you can get to it is from the programs list. So if you go to the start menu and just scroll this list all the way to the bottom, there's the Fusion icon right there. It's called Wireless Companion here, but we know it as the Fusion icon. And you want to click on the wireless launch, and that will give you the same list of commands. One thing that you might want to take away from this or notice from this is that you have the enable radio command right here. If you go to find wireless LANs or begin a profile and you get scan adapter unavailable, that probably means that your radio is off. So here's an enable radio checkbox. I'm going to hide the menu for now and go back to the task tray at the top. And I'm just going to demonstrate for you that error. If you try and find wireless LANs while the scan adapter is off or the wireless adapter is off, you'll get this error. So to rectify that, we need to turn it on by going to the wireless manager and select Wi-Fi to turn it on. And now we can do find wireless LANs again. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to show the two most basic and most commonly used wireless security mechanisms, and that's pre-shared key, and it's going to be WPA for Wi-Fi protected access. WPA1 or WPA Personal 1 is using TKIP or Temporal Key Integrity Protocol for encryption, and WPA2 Personal is using AES encryption. So you can see I have two SSIDs here that match those security paradigms. We'll select the first one, WPA TKIP, and if you hold down your stylus until you get the right-click option, you can create a profile. And a lot of these items here are going to be default for you, making the entry and creation of a profile simplified. One thing to note here, the SSID name is case sensitive, so however it's entered with upper and lowercase and spaces, you need to be sure that you enter that exactly. Here I'm just going to accept the defaults and click Next for a profile name. Operating mode is infrastructure. In most cases you're going to leave that alone. Other operating modes are ad hoc, which we're not going to be concerned with here. So leave it at infrastructure and click Next. Again, the WPA mode is personal, and what that refers to is the fact that we're most commonly using a pre-shared key as opposed to any extensible authentication protocols such as PEEP or EAPFAST, where we need either a certificate or a username and a password. And just to show you the other options, I'm going to drop this list down. Again, we're using WPA Personal. WPA Enterprise refers to those extensible options that I just talked about. WPA2 Personal and Enterprise refer to the use of WPA2 with AES encryption. Just as a note, WPA2 is backwards compatible with WPA1 using TKIP encryption, but if you're going to go to the trouble of setting up a WPA2 SSID, you're in most cases going to use the AES or stronger encryption. Authentication type is none. Again, we're not using any advanced authentication types. You can see here that because we picked WPA, it's automatically selected the TKIP encryption type. Our pre-shared key is going to be passphrase, so here's one change from the default. The default is hexadecimal keys. We want to use passphrase. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to unmask the character so that I know that I type it in accurately. And our key is VPN systems. And click Next. For the addressing, in most cases, you're going to use DHCP. And DHCP will probably also provide you with your DNS server address, so I'm going to leave those alone as default. And here's our battery usage mode. CAM stands for constantly awake mode and will never put the radio to sleep. It'll draw the most battery power. The recommended option is the default here for fast power save, and then max power save if you require it. Will save battery above and beyond fast power save, but you might find some performance hindrances there because it's putting the radio to sleep a little bit more often to save that power. So that's the last step, and we can click Save. And you'll now see the profile that's been created appear here. The little icon to the left means that that's the active profile, and the blue key indicates that it's a secure as opposed to an open SSID in terms of its security. So did I get a successful connection? Do I have an IP address? How do I know? Well, we're going to click the OK button, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to scroll down to wireless status and click on that. And I can check my signal strength. I can see that I am associated and that I have a good signal strength. We're more particularly interested in this signal level, the neg 54 dBm. That's a very strong signal. I'm going to back up and check the current profile that I'm attached to. It's the WPA TKIP profile that we just created. Our IPv4 status will tell us if we have an address, and you can see here that I do. It was assigned by DHCP, and that my default gateway is 172.16.0.1, and that my two DNS servers are listed. Those, again, were given to me by the DHCP server. And finally, we can check the wireless log. The wireless log, in this case, is going to show that we were successfully connected. But this is also a good troubleshooting tool if you're having issues connecting to your wireless network. I often recommend to clear the log and have the auto scroll checked, and then just sit and watch, and it will populate the log with some helpful information that might assist in troubleshooting, such as association timeouts, authentication keys being incorrect, and things like that. And with that, I'm going to quit. Some other testing you can do is the wireless diagnostics screen. You can do an ICMP ping to see if you can reach your default gateway. You can see that the default gateway is populated there already. And I'm going to hide the keyboard and just click Start Test. And you can see here under the total transmit and total receive that those numbers are keeping with one another in step, which means that all of my pings being sent out are also being returned. So I have connectivity to my default gateway. And you can also see in this breakdown here at the bottom with the colored bars how much of my traffic is being sent and received at 54 megabits, 48 megabits, 36 megabits, and so on and so forth. So that gives you some indication as to the performance of the wireless connection. I'm starting to run out of time here, so I'm not going to go through the configuration and connection for a WPA2 with AES encrypted SSID. However, it is much the same. The only difference is that you choose WPA2 personal as the encryption type as opposed to WPA personal. And again, you should step through the profile in the same way. For more videos, please visit our YouTube technical support channel, Vantage Point Networks. That's www.youtube.com/user/Vantage Point Networks. Thanks for watching.